Hello, welcome to Sewing Street with me, Vicky Carroll, and look at this.
Hello,
Jenny.
I'm back.
Jenny McCreary, everyone, is back. I suppose you are spending more time in the Midlands now, aren't you, Jenny?
I am, because we've got the franchise there, obviously. So,
absolutely.
I mean, sorry if you wanted me off the telly, because I'm back.
How are you anyway? I think we've
really
all had
good.
such an exciting couple of weeks, haven't we?
I am really good, yeah. It was almost like we just had a wee holiday from the TV, and now we're back.
I know. I don't think we
good.
expected to be sunning here. Obviously, Jenny, of course, was a part of our sewing community. And tell us more about how you started sewing and what you love to do.
Yep. So I started sewing when I was probably about 14. I think the first thing I put together was a Halloween costume. I would hate to see that Halloween costume now, to be fair, because it was on a rotten sewing machine. Bless her, it was my mum's sewing machine, but it kept like jamming up and everything. I got there in the end, I don't know how I did it, but I think it was a tutu, it was a tooth fairy. So then I thought, this is good, you can actually make clothes, and that's how I got into it. Then I ended up studying at university, and then when I graduated from university, I couldn't find a job, so I had to kind of make one, and I discovered that I like teaching people things. Yeah. Which is exactly what I'm doing here as well, obviously.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just made a business out of it, so, and now it's a franchise as well.
Yeah, so
that makes me sound old.
But it is fantastic that you've now got a franchise where you do lots of workshops in Birmingham and up in Scotland.
Yep, so we've got, so Glasgow's mine, obviously, we've got Dundee, Chorley, and apparently there's a Chorley one. It's Chorley like Manchester way, not Chorley London way. There's a London one, someone does.
Crawley? Maybe not Chorley.
I don't know. Anyway, someone told me there's one in London, and I'm like, well, that's not the right one. So yeah, and then Birmingham, our latest one.
So you're working your way down.
Working my way down,
the map, aren't you?
Because I like the weather down here, it's better.
It is amazing to have you back on board. As soon as I heard Jenny's going to be here on one of your first days for the pre-records, and I was like, yes, I'm messaging you straight away. I'm going to have such an amazing time.
I know.
So we obviously haven't got anything to sell at the moment. We're looking at obviously going live very, very soon. We're going to have lots of exciting projects, lots of kits, lots of demos, similar format to what you already know, which is really, really exciting. But sign up to our newsletter and you'll be able to keep in the loop and see all of the repeats and when they're coming back on YouTube. I think actually we are on YouTube now. If you subscribe to YouTube, in the last sort of 24 hours, we've managed to get on YouTube. But the other sort of platforms of television, we are working on getting on very, very soon. And of course, we want to make it live and interactive as soon as possible as well. But get your messages in, as you always do on Facebook, for Jenny as well, because this is a great chance for us to sort of have a sit down as a small team and say, let's start from scratch. What is it that you want to see? And I know that there's a lot of projects that you want to bring as well, aren't there?
Yeah, I'm really excited about what we can bring to this channel, what maybe we can do maybe a little bit differently.
That's it.
And perhaps I'm going to just try and have a bit more influence and just send some nice patterns your way as well.
Absolutely.
'Cause I love sewing. Like, I know a lot of people in the industry do sewing as a job and then actually don't enjoy it in their spare time, but I still love doing it in my spare time as well. So I'm always like looking for new patterns and new fabrics, and I love to hear what you guys are up to as well. So what fabrics you're using and where your best discounts are, etc.
Yeah, I love watching your Instagram and your social media. It's brilliant. I mean, Jenny is very active. You're very good
I'm very
at
active on social media, yeah. Just like talking.
But quite often, actually, what I see you doing is repairing clothes.
I do.
That's what we're going to be talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, repairing and upcycling is something that's quite close to my heart now.
Yeah.
I'm so confident. My two girls who work for me are super eco-friendly as well, so they've been a really good influence on me. And I think everyone's kind of moving that way a little bit. So it's not, I mean, like reusing textiles is really good, but even if you're buying textiles to make reusable items, then that's fine as well.
Absolutely. You need to watch back. I know you're on the train from Glasgow, but the start of the show, so Steve Bennett, if you missed it, the reason that he has got involved in Sewing Street is exactly because of that.
Amazing.
He's actually looking into buying, I don't know if you've heard of it, ocean cotton, which is cotton that's been made out of plastic bags from the ocean and bottles. So we're going to be able to bring that here on the channel. So
I'm very interested in that. I love that.
So that's really exciting. But like you said, upcycling.
Yes.
Giving it a new lease of life.
Well. Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of things that you can do. You can make little girls' dresses out of men's shirts that have maybe seen better days. You can make, I'm big on a reusable kitchen towel. That's my current favourite thing, and that's what I'm going to show you that today. Okay. And at first, everyone's like, that's disgusting and I'm not interested in that until you try it and then see the amount of waste that you save by not using kitchen towel. My partner is a massive kitchen, he does all the cooking, I don't really cook anything. He's a massive kitchen towel fan, and even he is on board with the reusable kitchen towel now, so I'm hoping to convert some people today.
Right, so this is what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yes, this is it. So this is, they're similar, you make them in a similar way actually. This is a little makeup remover pad type thing,
that's
reusable,
handy, isn't it?
because they are really good.
Well, you use makeup remover and wipes
yeah.
every single day, don't you? So
Yeah.
this is really handy to have a reusable one.
Yeah, and all you do is chuck them in the wash. So they just go in the washing with all your, and they're so little that they're not taking up any space, that it's not like, you know, sometimes people will say, you know, this might be eco-friendly, but then what about the carbon footprint of all the water that you're using to wash it? But these are so little that it doesn't take up, like you're not doing a whole wash just for these.
That's handy if you're going on holiday, isn't it?
So handy. And actually, I think that it is better for your skin. Personally, I think it really because if you're using the kind of makeup wipes that come out of the packet, they're really not good for your skin at all. So this encourages you to use better products on your face, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like a little bit exfoliating. Depends what kind of towel you use, to be fair.
So you've got like a toweling on
It's like a toweling. So either you can buy some toweling fabric, or even better is you can reuse a towel. We've all got a towel that's got like hair dye on it, or you've bleached a big bit and you can't use it. It was your favourite hand towel and now it's completely ruined.
Yeah.
That's perfect for this.
Brilliant.
And another thing I would say about these little things is make them square, because I keep seeing people making the makeup pads and they're making them circular, but that makes a lot of waste as well, because you've got all these little bits at the edge that just go to landfill. So just make them square is another thing, but they're so easy, and I'm looking forward to showing you how to make these.
Brilliant, let's get sewing
Right, okay. Let me grab these little bits and pieces over here. So what I did is, where are they, little ones here? I'll do the kitchen towel first then. Oh no, they're here, sorry. There we go. Right, I'm just off a train and I'm like, normally I have a whole night's sleep and I have a wee wine in the hotel the night before and all that.
I can't believe that you actually, I said to Jenny, are you sure? And you actually find it very therapeutic sitting on the train, don't
I don't
you?
mind the
Are you
train.
very relaxed right now?
I'm not relaxed right now because it was a bit of a rush to get here.
in.
But no, I will be relaxed in a minute. Sewing will chill me out.
Yeah.
But no, I like the train. I get a lot done because I can't leave, so I literally just have to sit there and work or read or something.
In fact, a lot of people, we were talking about this with Steve earlier, if you struggle to sort of relax, it's amazing for mindfulness as well, isn't it?
Sewing,
yeah.
Totally. It's so good. They've done lots of studies into how good it is and how your brain goes into a similar kind of pattern as it would if you were actually meditating.
Wow.
Which I think is really interesting, because I find meditation really difficult. I'm quite into all that stuff as well, and I just can't, my brain goes bananas, whereas this forces all these other things out of your mind and you just have to focus on the task at hand, so it's really good for you. Big fan.
Big support of that.
Right, what I've got, let me move this out of the way. I'm just going to put this under the table just now.
The shelf.
So I just got two little squares here. So for your makeup wipes, they can be any size you like, so it can depend on the towel that you've got. You might only have enough of a towel to do like 2 or 3 of them, but that's fine, because then a little bit is better than nothing. So even if you are still using a little bit of the disposable stuff, little small changes, even using 1 or 2 is amazing as well.
Great gifts for people as well, aren't they?
These
Encouraging
are
them.
so, I am that person now. Like, one of Steve's cousins actually is, she's not quite on board with the eco-friendly stuff yet, and I keep like sending her wee messages like, oh, I'll send you this in the post and I'll do that, and like all my in-laws, I'm going to be making these for them with like a nice set of makeup remover. It's such a nice gift.
When you talk about Steve, by the way, I just must
My
clear
partner,
up.
my
this
partner.
is your partner.
Yeah.
This isn't Steve Bennett, and I'll talk about that later on in the conversation. But when you were telling me one of the projects you want to do, and you said, "Oh yeah, I've got Steve's jeans," I was thinking, Steve Arseed already.
Yeah, just message him on Twitter, ask if he had any jeans needed fixed. No, sorry, my Steve. Right. So your towel
does it have a right side
does
or wrong
not
side?
have a right side or a wrong side, no.
Right.
And this was just a wee scrappy towel that I had it was just ruined. I couldn't use it for anything else. It was a hand towel. And then this is just a piece of cotton that we had in the studio, and I'm going to put these right sides together. Just like that, and I'm going to pop a couple of pins.
Do you find
around
that
the edges.
it can fray?
Toweling does fray quite bad. So although sometimes if I am doing something like this and the raw edge is going to be on the inside, I quite often don't bother zigzagging it, but I think I might zigzag this because they're going to get washed a lot. So they're going to get put through the mill,
Could you go around it with your overlocker?
Yes, you could go around it with your overlocker actually. Yeah, absolutely, that would be a quicker way. Right, so this is a fancier machine than I'm used to, so let's see how we go here. What I'm starting with, I'll show you where I'm going to start sewing actually. I'm going to start sewing in the middle. I'm not starting at a corner, and there's a reason for that. So I'm going to start sewing about here, and I'm going to be going round, all the way around like that. And then stopping slightly short of where I started. So I'm going to leave a gap of about that much. Depending on the size of your the little pad that you're making, you want to leave enough of a space for you to be able to pull it out.
Okay.
If you leave it too wee, don't worry, you can pull some of the stitches out, it's not a big deal.
Do you do a quick reverse?
You can do. We're going to be top stitching over this actually, so it's not a big deal, you don't have to reverse. Where's the reverse? There we go. We'll be reversing if I can find the reverse. There we go, I'll do a wee reverse. Oh, this is a very nice machine.
Victoria Pete is doing a bit of a demo on that at some point over the next few days. As these are pre-recorded shows, I'm not sure when it is the Victoria Pete show will be, but you'll see it over the next few days and she goes through all of the features and functions and it is amazing. It is such a brilliant machine.
I think I've seen some of the other sewing street girls have got these at, in fact there's Victoria that's got it at home.
Yeah, she has.
That's maybe where I've seen it.
We've got the UK exclusivity to this as well, I should mention, which is very exciting. So Jane from Elna is going to be coming in and talking to us about it as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I say that we've got the exclusivity. We haven't got it to sell yet, but we will We will do very soon. I love the fact that we've come on here quite early, actually, because it gives everybody a chance to sort of have their input. Everybody at home as well, the community, to get involved, have your input. Exactly what Jenny was saying at the start of. What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see, differently? Or is there anything that you're struggling to source that you would like us to be able to stock? Or if there's any of those sort of questions, or if there's any demonstrations that you would like to see, it's going to be a similar format to what we used to. So you are still going to see lots of great demonstrations, but also starting from scratch gives us lots of chance to get it even better this time, which is exciting. You're right.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get a zigzag on this fancy machine. You could probably just ask it, pure zigzag please. Then it'll come on. Wait a second, there we go. Zigzag will be on here somewhere. I will not do a zigzag. I'll just leave a zigzag, shall I?
It's not, will it be under mode? I would have said that's your stitch width and stitch length.
This is my fault for not...
There is a stitch code. Joe, our floor manager / camera operator, is looking for it to see what number or...
It's too fancy for my simple little brain. This is... Anyway,
you've gone round with it straight. Yeah. We'll find
I can do another one with a zigzag if we can find it. Okay, so if you can do a wee zigzag around your raw edges, if not, if you can't find the zigzag on your machine, that's fine. Nah, we'll get there, I'm sure. There's probably a button on there that's...
It is just a number. Zigzag. It is a number. There's normally a stitch card that sits into the... Here it is. Cool. He's found it.
Oh, we've got it. I'll show you this wee bit anyway in the meantime, which we'd have to do anyway. I'm going to just chop these corners off. Just like that. To reduce the bulk a little bit. Now, these don't have to be the most beautiful things you've ever made because they're really more functional than pretty, but if they're going to be sitting out in your bathroom, let's see if we can make them as nice as possible. If you don't do that, you just end up with rounded edges when we turn it out. Have we got a zigzag?
I think so. I think it's 006 on mode.
Oh, okay. M?
Or number 5, yeah, it could be number 5, mode 1, if that's already been
Let's see.
Look at this for live television,
yeah, no, that's not it. 007?
007 sounds a good one to try.
That sounds like it's not right either. Do you know what? Who needs a zigzag anyway?
We had a really good play with it yesterday, so I think we
Where's
may
Victoria?
have set some
Where's Victoria when you need her? Get her on the phone.
Into some different settings.
Never mind. It's not a huge deal. If I am trying to think back to the ones I've made in the house, and I don't think I zigzagged inside, and so far so good, but obviously if you want to zigzag it.
And what will that do? Will that just, if you aren't washing it a lot?
Yeah, it just stops the edges from fraying. Okay. So like you say, you could use an overlocker. You can use an overlocker instead of the straight stitch, so you don't have to do the zigzag and the straight stitch. They will be mostly protected from fraying because we're turning them to the inside. So it should be okay, I would say. If you've got the option of a zigzag, then just do it.
Yeah.
Because they'll last for ages. The ones I've got in the house, I'm just turning this out now. The ones I have in the house, I think they must be about a year old now.
And they're still fine.
They're still fine. Absolutely fine. I've got loads of them. I made loads. Anytime I've got a scrap or anytime I've got a towel in my life that's seen better days, I just make some.
Yeah. Good, like I say, to stock up ready for gifts for people.
Totally.
These are so handy, aren't they?
They're so handy. It's a nice thoughtful gift as well because you're thinking about the planet, you're thinking about the person's face as well.
And honestly, I'm really, really excited for you to talk to Steve more, actually, when he comes on air. He's so passionate about, sustainability. He's got a whole bamboo range.
I'm so interested about this fabric.
Yeah,
I'm loving
ocean cotton.
That's so cool. Love it.
I don't actually know if anybody else has actually done, I know he said that there are some companies that have made clothes out of it, but to be able to bring it for you to make your own, I don't know if anybody's done that.
I feel like I would know if that was already a thing. Like, I'm quite clued up with this stuff and I've not heard of it, so
Brilliant.
I think you might be right.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay, so now I would, if you've got an iron, you can give it a wee press. You don't really have to, it's not a big deal. When I'm at home, will do anything to avoid having to stand up and go to the ironing board, so I would probably not iron it. We're just going to top stitch. So we do a class at So Confident, actually, an upcycling, eco-friendly type class, and one of the things that we found in this class was that people didn't know what top stitching was or why we were doing it. So I thought I would just quickly tell you, because I talk about top stitching all the time and actually I'd never really explained what it is. So top stitching is stitching that goes through the top, hence the top stitching. It is, our customers, a couple of them on the last class thought it was purely decorative, but actually it's not always purely decorative. Quite often it's serving a purpose, like if it's in garments, it's quite often you're top stitching a seam allowance to the inside to keep it nice and flat so that it's more comfortable when you're wearing it and so that it looks better. In this case, top stitching is going to be used to close over the little gap. So you can use a fancy stitch if you like, it still works fine. I'm just going to use a straight stitch, because I don't know how to find any fancy stitches in this.
Sometimes these machines, though, yes, they have all singing and dancing, but sometimes you just want to know that it does a great straight stitch.
Well, that's it. Well, I can confirm.
I
can confirm it.
So this is to close the gap, but also it will keep it all...
Yep. And again, I'm not going to start and stop on a corner. I'm just going to... So I should tell you that, actually. The reason I didn't start and stop on a corner is because if you have a wee gap in the kind of centre here. See that wee bit there? Sorry. There we go. That's really easy. You pull that and that's just all these wee seam allowance bits are tucking in nice and happy. If you can imagine doing that on a corner, you're having to make this corner and you're having to fold it in. Do you know what? See if you just try it at home and you'll know the difference, because it's really difficult to get a nice corner when you've left this edge open. So, and that goes for anything that you're making, like if you're doing a cushion that you're not putting a zip in or anything, always leave the gap to the middle of a straight bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's good to explain things like that, because it's something that we all automatically do.
Yeah.
But there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of learning to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think sometimes on the TV, although you ask a lot of questions, you guys can't necessarily at this point, whereas if we're in a class situation, people will perhaps say, why do you do that though? So I'm trying to think of like what would
people
you ask so that I can tell you before you even have to message. And then all you have to message us about is your favourite fabric finds, etc.
Would you also use stitch length to do a top stitch?
I mean, you don't have to.
And how close to the edge do you do a top stitch?
Whatever you want, as long as you keep it the same.
Consistent.
So particularly if it's a garment, so like something that's got a lot of top stitching would be maybe like a denim jacket or something. And with a denim jacket, often the top stitching is like a goldy thread as well, so it's a thicker thread that they use. And for that, it's very obvious your top stitching, so you need to be really careful, and you have to just stick to it. So decide, I'm going to go for 2mm from the edge, and just stick to it throughout the garment, because then you really notice it. And actually, if you're top stitching, I know will put the fear into a lot of people as well. So just, you don't have to do a contrasting top stitch. If you're not feeling too comfortable with it, then just match it. Yeah, and it's totally fine. And then you get away with a lot more. These are really nice
beginner projects, aren't they?
Yeah. These are cute. So I've gone to the edge pretty much there. And
you've
also,
automatically had your needle down there as well.
Yes. Yes, because to pivot, to change direction. So I'll show you in the next wee corner here.
On the quite a lot of machines actually, this machine certainly does have a memory function that you can set the needle as down. Once you've taken your foot off, it's going to end with it down.
It is so good. My machine at home does this as well, and it's so
hand crank
good.
it.
That's absolutely fine. You can just make sure that it's in. What it does is it makes sure, so my needle's in right now, if I lift my presser foot, it's not going to move. It's still keeping me, it lets me change direction without having a big stitch or a gap or anything like that. So yes, that's a good point.
Do you generally alter your speed? I mean, you're doing a small project here and you're still going rapid.
Yeah. I think that's just confidence, perhaps.
Yeah.
I do sometimes think the faster you go, once you're confident with your sewing machine, the faster you go, the easier it is to stay straight.
Yeah.
But see, for this, don't worry about being straight. It doesn't matter. Like, this is probably a good practice because it doesn't matter. So if you're thinking top stitching terrifies me, these are really good wee projects to just give you some practice, because you'll be doing a lot of top stitching if you're making 5 of them. It's quite a lot of top stitching, quite a lot of change direction and pivoting and stuff. So
I like this fabric as well. This is one that you just found in your
well, this
studio.
is one of our brands.
Oh, is it?
So we've got a couple of different patterns that our graphic designer made us for the So Confident brand. So because I was like, I want my own fabric, so that's what they are.
These are really fun. They look like retro 80s style, don't they? They're really cool.
Do you know what the vibe was? 90s, like Clarissa Explains It All. Do you remember that programme?
Absolutely.
That's what the vibe was. That's pretty much what I asked for, and she delivered.
Oh, I love that. Just been speaking to Debbie Shaw about children's television. Do you remember Debbie Shaw being on your television?
No.
Yeah.
What was she on?
Rainbow.
No way.
Yeah. ITV children's television.
I think I do remember this. It's just popped into my head. I'll Google that on the way home. That's amazing. So, there you go. How easy is that?
Now, with your larger ones,
Yes.
These are your kitchen.
Yes.
So you do these exactly the same way?
Exactly the same way. So I've got some bigger ones that I'll quickly run up, and then I can show you how to put these little poppers on, because poppers are one of my favourite fastenings. So good.
Oh, well, they're great for the snaps. They come in such an array of colours as well that you can use them for so many things. Initially, I think of, for kids, for bibs and things like that, or little press studs, but actually for pockets on the front of bags. For
short dresses.
Yeah.
See if you don't want to do buttonholes. Poppers are great.
Brilliant.
So good. I love them. I'm a big fan because they're quicker than buttons. And buttons, you can sew buttons on with a sewing machine, but it can be a bit of a faff.
Children's wear especially.
Yeah,
Really
yes,
nice,
exactly. Very cute.
So
Right,
again,
I'm
right
just doing
sides
exactly
together.
the same here.
You're still going to leave your gap.
Yep, still leaving a gap, still started in the middle.
Stopping with your needle down.
Yep, and then I'm just turning around. The size of the kitchen towel. So the size of the little makeup pad can be anything. I think that one I made it 13 by 13.
I'll have a look.
I've got a tape measure here actually somewhere if you want one. Oh, you got one.
My board. It is 4.5 inches.
Okay, that sounds about right. I'm a centimetres person, so I don't know what that is in centimetres.
Yeah, 4.5. 4.5 inches.
But they can be anything you like. For a kitchen towel, I made these rectangular rather than square.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just felt like, I was Googling it. I was like, what size is kitchen towel? And the internet didn't tell me, so I don't really know what size kitchen towel is. And I don't have any because I don't use it. So it doesn't really matter what size this is. But the one tip I would say is make sure that it's not bigger than your little kitchen roll holdery thing in the kitchen, because that would be annoying.
Yeah, that's really handy. There you go. That's 9 by 10 inch square. How is your towel to sew with? It's not going to get stuck in your feed dogs, is it?
Nope, it's an absolute dream to sew
Is
with.
it?
It's really stable.
It's not slipping.
It's not slippy, it behaves itself. Just give it a wee press. So if you've got one, if it's quite an old towel, just give it a wee press before you sew with it, and it's a dream. Absolute dream. This machine is really fast as well, isn't it? I like it.
I think it's, let me see if my memory serves me right, about 1,200 stitches a minute or something. Technical term. There's a lot of stitches a minute.
So you can just do exactly the same on this. Cut these wee bits off. So obviously this is like a grey towel and then a bit of a wacky fabric, and I know that some people would just not have this in their kitchen because they think that does not go with my kitchen. So there's no reason why you couldn't make something that actually looks really nice in your kitchen and goes with your kitchen. So that's what I'm talking about with buying fabrics to make reusable stuff. Like that's okay. I think that's still a step in the right direction. So if you need to make, if you've got a rose gold kitchen or whatever and you want to have a nice peachy towel and a nice fabric on the outside, they do wash quite well. So mine, although they've got tomato sauce and all that over them, they actually wash. I don't know what Steve's cooking, but it's always got tomato base somewhere. Yeah, so you can make it suit your kitchen as well. If that's going to make you more eco-friendly, then you should absolutely do it.
These are the colours that you have in your kitchen?
No. No, I wish. If only. So same again.
Good for the studio though as well, aren't they?
Yeah, these are perfect. These are perfect for the studio. Actually, they go with the work, and we do have a wee sink and all that in there. So that's where these will be going afterwards. So again, you would top stitch around the outside. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to move on to the wee sturdy bits. Right. I'm going to go for the yellow. I've got lots of different colours here.
I must ask as well, how is all wedding planning going?
Oh, it's going good.
When is it that you're getting married?
September.
This year?
So I've got my dress now.
Oh, very exciting.
And I'm keeping it secret from everyone. Like, I'm not even telling my bridesmaids what it looks like.
I did really the same thing. But it's the most lovely thing because you tell everybody everything else. So it's nice actually to keep your dress as a surprise.
I think so.
And I saw that you were asking on social media the other day about a veil, weren't you?
Yes, that's right. Because people keep asking me, are you making your dress? And then I hate saying no because people expect me to say yes. But the reason I'm not making my dress is because I would get sick of it. And I wouldn't enjoy wearing it because if I'm making something that takes me longer than a day, I start getting sick of it. And I didn't want that to happen for my dress, so now I'm like really excited to wear it because I didn't make it. And it's the one opportunity to wear something super special that I would never make myself. So that's why I'm not making it. But I did think it's a bit of a cop-out. I need to make something. So the veil so me and my mum are going to make the veil. And the fact that I tried on a veil that was so simple and eye-wateringly expensive, I just thought,
it's crazy, isn't it? I did the same. I did mine was very, very simple though. I mean, it is actually really simple. If you want to add all your applique lace bits and Swarovski crystals, it can be a fortune when you go to a wedding shop. So absolutely, you've got to make your own. And that's something then that's nice to keep as well and even pass down, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll. And my mum's like dead keen to get involved and do something creative to do with the wedding as well because we've got a wedding planner because it's Cyprus and that's what we do. So there's not that much to do. So I think she's like, what can we do? Yeah. Let's do some bits and pieces, which is cute. Together. So yeah, it's a nice wee thing to do, I think.
So press stud. Right. These studs are great, aren't they?
Yeah,
and do you need like
nice These
most
are like
of them
plier type things? Yeah. So what you need is, I'll show you on this one. You need to have one side with the poppers facing down the way and one side with the poppers facing up the way. And this is so that you can connect it.
There we go.
So this is them up the way. I'll show you that these guys actually fit together. So
how many different parts are there to a popper?
Yeah, it's quite complicated. You kind of have to set them out in front of you, to be honest. So you've got a jaggy bit.
Thank you, Jen.
There we go. Might be better on the green. So I need these guys for one side and these guys are for the other side. So the jaggy bit, I'll just show you, that goes on top, fabric in the middle, and that is a little popper. And this one will clip into that one right there. So you just have to get them right because it'll be so annoying if you get them. If you put 4 of them on, they'll just never fit. Yeah. There'll be just one bit of your kitchen roll that doesn't fit with the rest of them. So the plan is with this that the way that we put these poppers on, it will clip together into a big roll, just as if it is actually kitchen roll.
Oh, so you would clip piece by piece by piece.
And then you roll it onto your kitchen rolly thing. So it really is like kitchen roll.
Oh, I love that. I love it. And then you can just chuck it in the wash as and when you need.
And my washing machine is in my kitchen anyway. I know that some people have got a utility room or whatever, but it's so handy. You just like use it, clean the worktops with it or whatever, and then you put it in the washing machine instead of in the bin, and then it just gets washed with whatever else goes in.
Yeah, that's really handy.
Yeah, it's so good. Right, so let me just make sure that I do them. So do them all the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that wee one's came off. Just goes to show. See, I need Steve sometimes to get these on properly, but jaggy one.
Can you hear him in there?
I can. Normally I
Paul's
can't
in
hear
the gallery, which is in like a room that's, well, not even a room. Hang on, hello. Keep the noise down in there, please. Trying to do a telly show.
So push that through the fabric, and you can see a little bit of the jaggy bit coming through there, and then this just goes on like that, and I give it a wee push like that. Now how this actually works, it's so smart. This kind of stuff impresses me. The presser thing. Technical
What a contraption this is. The pressing thing.
What it does is it puts pressure on this wee, there's a little pointy bit in there, flattens out that plastic, and that's what holds this part on. So it's quite interesting. So you just pop these on. Let's see if I'm strong enough. Make sure I'm doing this the right way.
It's a shame we haven't got any, big strapping men that would be able to come in
I know. Let me just check. Right, hold on. Sorry, a wee second. Hold on, I've got myself in a pickle here. Right, let me just double check I'm doing this right. So that one's down, and it's that one actually. Okay, so it's that one and that one. Right.
Jaggy edge, jaggy one with...
So they're male and female parts, really. That's what they're, like an engineer would call them male and female parts, aren't they? So I guess this is the male bit.
No.
What?
That's your male
No,
bit.
this bit. No, because
okay.
that one and that one.
I'm
so
with
the
you.
popper, that
Yeah.
one and...
Sorry.
Anyway, whatever you do, just do the same. Do all the bits and then it'll be fine. Right, okay. Here we go. And then give it a wee squeeze.
Oh, using all
Gives you
your
muscle.
strength. I can hear them. You ever go to the gym?
I do go to the gym, but clearly not enough. Right, so there we go. So that's one on. I'm going to do the same on this wee bit here. And it's this, because it's a rectangle, it's going to be exactly the same. Let me just check that's, if I've done it that way. Better do this and then nothing fits on. Hold on. That one. Yeah, it's fine.
It's probably best doing it once you haven't been up since silly o'clock on a train from Glasgow.
6 in the morning, and the dog started barking like 3 times last night.
Your doggy went to doggy daycare.
She did go to doggy daycare yesterday, bless her. She likes the doggy daycare though.
You're going to be aren't you coming back again on Monday?
Yes. What is that called?
The NEC?
Yes,
NEC
I am.
show.
I'm going to be here for the day again, so I don't know why I keep deciding to come up and down in one day.
I know, it is. We're very grateful that you have that.
I couldn't not. Not for you guys. I don't think I'd ever see you again.
I know! I thought we'd shake
Not all
you
in the
up.
one place.
It is lovely to be able to get as many of the family together as possible.
I know, it's nice, isn't it? Right, I'm going to redo that one as well.
And the exciting thing is as well, we're such a small team at the minute, but you are going to be seeing lots more faces that you know. You're also going to be seeing new faces as well, which we're equally as
that's
excited as
exciting.
about. Yeah, it gives us opportunities to venture far and wide.
I'm just going to put that one back. Right, there we go. Okay. Can you find me another... What have I got? I lost one. Okay, perfect. So those two, and I need one of them and one of them. And here.
I would just poke through. You don't
just
need to
poke
use
through.
an awl.
No, you actually don't. Unless you've got a really tightly woven fabric that you're using.
But with your towel and this is just a cotton.
Yeah, it's just a cotton, so it's totally fine.
And the strength.
There we go. There we go.
I think your pliers need oiling.
Yeah, a little bit of WD-40 and they'll be fine. Right, here we go. Last one. I just really want to show you how these go together.
You've got, so look at can I just show you the array of colours that Jenny's bought from Glasgow as well on the train. She was like, just in case she hasn't got enough colours, look at all these.
What?
I've got loads of them out already.
Listen, variety is the spice of life. I didn't know what colour was going to take my fancy today, so...
Oh, great. We need to get loads of those in, don't we?
Right, so...
The moment of truth.
Yeah. That clips on to that, but obviously this would be top stitch and it would be dead neat. And then and then another one clips on to this bit here. So on, so on.
I've seen nobody else do this before.
Really?
No, this is first
I mean,
for me.
I've not seen it online, so I'm going to just say that I made this up.
There you go. There you go. And then you can just put it straight onto
Yeah,
your...
you just put it onto the roll. Yeah, what I did with one of my bits of kitchen roll, the first one, so the one that was going to be in the centre, I didn't put the poppers on it, but it's actually really annoying because then if that one comes out the washing machine in the middle of the roll and I'm trying to pop it back on, so just put the same poppers on every wee piece, and then I'd be delighted to find out who tries this at home, and if you can ditch the kitchen towel, I'd be well up for hearing about that.
How do we find you on Instagram, by the way, so that we can follow you?
So Instagram, I'm So Confident Jenny, all one word. Or my work's just So Confident. You can find us that way. I'm all over Instagram, so it's probably the best way to find me, actually.
We want to see it on everybody's social media as well, because that is brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing those in.
Chuck all that out.
Right, we've got, how long did you say, Paul? About 25 minutes, and we're going to be doing some upcycling or repairing, aren't we?
Yes, some repairing of some jeans.
So when I said that, when you told me that you were bringing in Steve's jeans, this is your part of Steve.
Yeah, so these are actually, there's a pair of mine here as well, and there's a pair of Steve's, so I've got some options. Steve's are obviously, these have been in the washing with like a hanky or something, clearly.
Right.
Steve is so... I've never met anybody who is so rough on jeans. Like, these aren't like even that old, and he's already like, yeah, they need fixed. Both sides. I don't know what he does. I don't know.
These are like, Steve. Does Steve know that you're bringing these in today?
Yeah, but I don't know if he knows I've got them, but maybe he didn't realise I was going to come on the TV with them. Thought I was going to fix them on the train by hand or something. I don't know. But anyway, I don't care. It's fine.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, I have fixed, before I even met Steve, in fact, when he moved in, he brought with him this big box of jeans, and I'm like, what is that? I could tell that it was like, it hadn't been touched for ages, and he said, oh, it's just all my, he buys expensive jeans a lot of the time as well. He was like, I just couldn't throw them out, but they're all done in. So I think one of my first jobs as like cohabiting partner was to fix about 40 pairs of Steve's jeans. Brilliant. I was just like sat at my sewing machine all day, but he got so much more use out of them. So
that's it. They don't need to be thrown away. You can you can fix them.
Absolutely. I'll do a pair of his first, and I'll stick mine over there for now.
Oh, he's going to be so pleased with you when you take these home tonight as well.
I know. Fix another pair for him they'll last about 3 weeks, and then he'll be like, gone again. So I find that this happens to me all the time. On all of my jeans, doesn't matter how expensive they are, this always happens to me. The fabric just wears away. I feel like it gets quite brittle as well. As it thins, it just starts to rip, and then it gets worse and worse and continues out and out. On my black pair, I'll show you, I've already fixed them a couple of times, and they need fixed again. So I would say, if you're fixing a pair of jeans, what we're about to do, I would just go big with the denim and fix way around the area that needs fixed, because if we just fix this tiny wee bit here, then it's just not going to last, to be honest. But I have just thought, I do need a zigzag for this. So
yeah,
I'll think, how hard can it be? Come on, we can get a zigzag.
Yeah, we can do it.
What does this button do?
Come on then, Paul.
Right.
Paul's like, I know exactly how to do it, so you should come out and do it for us.
What's that?
I don't know why it isn't... Yeah, there we go. That's saying 0. That's your stitch width.
That's width. So a zigzag, that's a straight. That's not the right... That one might do, to be fair, if we need to use that one.
I'm sorry that you can't see this. By the way, just while we'll talk amongst ourselves, try and find a zigzag. Join up. Do make sure that you're joining our newsletter. Do join up and sign up to get all of the latest news. We are so excited to be back. We're so excited to be here. And obviously, at the moment, it is still all very much starting up. This is sort of like the soft launch, a very exciting time for us here, where we're still growing. There's literally about 5-6 people involved at the minute, so we're getting lots more faces back, lots more people involved. At the moment, we're in the process of buying, making graphics, sorting all of the sort of technical bits and bobs out. Also, I must say, from the show that went out this morning. Today that we're filming is Friday today, isn't it? Valentine's Day. Yesterday, this morning, when the first show went out, we have been flooded with amazing, lovely supporting comments. So thank you so much. It's been an amazing couple of weeks, and especially to be able to come on air. I know that we're not live. We're live, but we're pre-recording. We are planning to go live. Freeview 73, obviously, we're going to be on Freeview very soon, and hopefully other platforms as well. I know a lot of people are asking about different platforms, so absolutely keep signing up or keep watching every morning and see the difference. Also on YouTube, you can now subscribe to our channel. So the more subscribers we get, obviously the better. Please show your support and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll see lots of changes happening in the next few weeks, which is exciting. How are you getting on, Jen?
I'm just going to test and see what this stitch looks like, because it might do.
Is that a zigzag?
No, it's not a zigzag, but we're just going to have to go with it. It'll have a similar effect. A zigzag is ideal.
Okay.
But we can do a straight stitch and it'll be fine.
We can do tele sewing. Imagine you're
fine.
saying
It's
zigzag.
It's
and we
fine.
can...
I have done it with straight stitches before. There's a stitch that's like a darning stitch, and you might have seen it on your machine not knowing what it looks like, and it looks like, I wonder, in fact, that's it there. Don't know if you'll be able to zoom into that one.
Let me turn it around. Which
33.
one? This one, number 3.
Yeah.
33 or number 3?
33.
33.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a really...
So it's really tight, and it's lots of wee straight stitches that go back and forward. So basically when you're darning, well, darning's probably like, that makes me think of socks actually, so I wouldn't call this darning, although it probably technically is. What I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of fabric and placing it underneath the fabric that needs fixed, and then I'm just stitching them so much that they almost become like one, and it fixes everything. A zigzag can sometimes be better if you've got like this sort of thing where it's actually like, I don't know what he's done. It looks like he's just like taking a pair of scissors to them. What a boy. But we can do this with a straight stitch, it's fine. Right. So the space that we're going to fix, I'm going to go for this kind of size here. And I'm going to come right over this bit because these seams go as well. I've had that go on a pair of jeans before, so I'm going to do this side, and then you can do that side separately. So the piece of fabric, this
Does it need to be matching? Does it need to be the same colour?
It doesn't have, it depends. If this is a knee, then you're going to see it, whereas nobody's going to see this, so it doesn't matter as much. Steve refers to the pair that we cut up as a donor pair. He'd be like, those are so done that they can be the donor pair now. Yeah. So then I'll just cut up a pair of his jeans, and it's normally like a similar kind of fabric. This is just a piece of denim that is from my scrap bin. Yeah. So it's black, these are blue, but
it's not going to be seen there.
You won't see it.
But also, if it's on a knee, I think it's quite a design feature actually. Some designer jeans have that, the rips, but then with a different
exactly. So
underneath.
You can always just say you meant it.
Feature.
You meant it, exactly. So I'm just going to make sure I'm cutting this the right kind of size. That looks all right. This will breathe a good 6 months into your jeans if you're a normal person and you're not Steve.
Whereas Steve,
I don't know if he just walks everywhere really fast or something. But for me, apart from those black ones, because I've been fixing them, they're probably about to go.
This is something that you can then do and do again.
Yeah, I'll show you in those pair. I've done them. This will be the 3rd time I fixed them, my black pair, but they're just my absolute, you know when you get a pair of jeans and you're like, I know that when I go in the shop, they're just not going to have that exact, even though they'll say that they're the same, they're just not going to be the same. It's not going to work. Another thing that you can do, I don't know if I brought any with me actually, it doesn't matter. I don't normally do it when I'm at home anyway. You can get a bit of that Bonda web stuff, and you can attach, so the Bonda web obviously comes with that little bit of paper on top that you can iron. So if you iron the Bonda web onto the right side of your fabric here, and then peel the paper off so that the sticky kind of Bonda web stuff is on the fabric, then if you place this inside the jeans and then iron it, this will stick and it's easier to work with. So if you're not too confident and you don't want to kind of stab yourself with pins, which sometimes can happen if you're doing it without the Bonda web, then just do that. You don't need much. It's good to keep your wee scrap bits of Bonda web for this purpose as well, because they're always comes in handy. But you can just use pins as well. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to put it inside here. And what I'm making sure, So in here it is the fabric. I know you can't see it, but I'll tell you where it is. It's running here, all along here. Now, I would rather have more fabric than I think I need because I can cut away.
So you don't just want to do a section like this. You
I'm
want to
gonna
make sure
I'm
that
going
it
to
covers
go a
this
little
seam.
bit further out.
Okay.
Like that. And what you also want to do, if you can, is close this up. You're trying to get the fabric back to its like original state, if you like, because I don't want to do it like that.
No.
And then I'm going to pop some pins in.
Good idea to use Bondaweb actually. That's going to stick it in place.
And if you are going to use Bondaweb, keep the bit of paper that goes on top, because when you iron it on, you want to put that paper on top of here.
So it doesn't stick to your
Yeah, exactly. Can you tell I have done that before?
Oh yeah, you're not the only one. I think you have to do it to then know, don't you?
It's like a rite of passage when you're sewing, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to try and close this up. Feel that fabric actually feels like brittle.
Gosh, it does. And they're quite soft jeans actually,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Fabric, I think, see jeans now that they've got a lot of like spandex and all these other elastane and all that in them, they just give way pretty quickly.
I was always told not to wash my jeans too often. My black jeans never stay black for that long, and my friend always said, just stop washing them so much. You're not meant to wash jeans.
I used to work in a really fancy menswear. Well, it was like streetwear, but it was the jeans were eye-wateringly expensive. And they used to say, put your jeans in the freezer.
What?
Don't wash them, because if you put them in the freezer, it kills the bacteria. I'm like, what if you've spilt like your dinner all down them though? What do you do then? Because they advise that actually you really minimally wash your jeans.
Gosh.
So yeah, don't put your jeans in the freezers, wash them. Okay, so I've got here, I'm going to come out here a bit as well. I'm going to stick a pin. I've got some fabric under there. There we go. And then I'm going to pop this into the machine. If you've got a free arm...
Yeah, this one doesn't have a free arm.
It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
If you've got a free arm, that's it.
Pull it off. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I was going to move that out of the way for you. We've got about 13 minutes.
Okay. The smaller the jeans, the harder this is, obviously, because especially if the rip's a little bit further down, and if they're tight jeans and they're quite a small, like, female size, then it's quite hard to get into that sometimes. Yeah. So you would want to be able to take a free arm off of your machine. Right. Okay. So I'm going to just make sure that the fabric is flat underneath here, as flat as I can get it. And then I'm just going to start sewing back and forward. And I would normally have a zigzag, but we're just going to go for, I'll just put it back onto a normal straight stitch and that should be fine.
Paul's saying, do you know it's mode 2? Do you know it's mode 2? I'm like, yes, we know it's mode 2.
I can't get it onto a different mode.
It's saying it normally just jumped.
See when you play a mod, it's just giving me that wee beepy
You've
button.
got your straight stitch plate in.
What does that mean?
You just got singular stitch plate. That's what it is. So
this is like
straight sewing, just straight sewing. That's why. But it won't let you do a zigzag. This machine is brilliant because it won't let you do what we can't. It's not letting you do it.
Is it the foot? Oh,
it's not.
Plate.
It's the plate.
That makes sense.
Do you want us to change it, or
nah,
are you going to just do?
It's fine.
Okay.
I have made my bed. I will lie in it.
At home, sorry that we haven't changed that, but at home, yeah, make sure that you've got the ability that you needle can swing across.
That makes me feel better because I was like, I should know how to fix this, and it's see that wee beepy noise it gives you when it's like, nah.
Computer says no.
Not doing it. I'm like, stop it. So I'm going to use my reverse, and I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to kind of change direction ever so slightly.
So you're creating your own sort of darning stitch here, aren't you? Just doing that zigzag bit yourself.
Exactly, but that's okay.
Would you still be doing this with a zigzag? You would still
exactly the same. So the only thing that would change is the stitch that I'd be using.
Now, in an ideal world, we're telesewing. Would you use what sort of thread would you want to use?
Match it. So I would actually quite often use variegated threads are good for this because particularly a nice blue, like a light blue, dark blue variegated thread are really, really good for this because you just can't see it. Yeah. Like it just totally disappears. Right, and I'm just going to continue. And I'm sewing over my pins there as well. You want to take them out as soon as you can, but if you take them out too early, then it just, everything comes away, unless you've glued it, unless you've Bonda webbed it, obviously, and then
If
it's
you
totally
Bonda
fine.
webbed it, would you still pin?
No.
No.
Nah, I wouldn't bother. So I'm going to do, because we've only got 13 minutes, I'll go over it really roughly in case I don't get the chance to do it as close stitch-wise as I wanted to do. So see, we'll have to wait to wear these.
Honestly, the time just flies.
It really does, doesn't it? And obviously normally we would have time, I would have time to have a wee fiddle about with the machine, but just because of doing the one day thing, you know. To be fair, even if I'd had 3 hours on this machine, I would not have worked out that it was the plate. I'd be like, just doesn't like me.
Oh, there's 3 different plates on this. There's a high performance plate as well. So if you want to do really fast sewing, it's got a special plate for that.
I love that. I mean, choice is good. I like to have.
Victoria Peak.
I know. I'm going to message her after the show and be like, could you give me a wee heads up, Victoria, about that machine?
I'm pleased that I realised, because I was thinking, hang on, I've sat with Victoria going through all this. How have I not noticed? And then it does say on the top corner, doesn't it? It's SS plate.
It does. I had no idea what that meant. I have a nice machine at home as well, but it's just not this nice. This is super fancy.
We've got 8 or 9 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just sewing back and forward here. Even this will fix this side. Absolutely.
And do you know what? That thread is actually blending in more.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, better than I thought it would.
If I was having a particularly lazy day at home, I'd probably just not change it. If it was my jeans, I would change it. But for Steve, he just gets whatever's on the machine. And obviously be careful when you're reversing. You can't like keep the needle in and change direction by turn because we're in a trouser leg here, so you do have to reverse, and your presser foot isn't designed to go backwards over bumps really, so just be careful that it doesn't get caught on, there's a wee, I don't know, you won't be able to see that there, but you don't want it to get caught in the hole in the jeans.
I'm just throwing it out there, have you ever put on the free motion
Yes,
foot?
you can absolutely use the free motion foot as well.
Yeah.
Yep, I have done. I think the jeans that I've done that look like this, because I've done a straight stitch and I've fixed jeans before, I used the free motion foot. Yeah.
Because that is good, easy to go back and forward without having
absolutely.
so much foot in the way, really. Yeah.
Exactly. And this might look like a faff, but this is a particularly challenging
Hole in the
thing
jeans.
that we're fixing here. Like, my jeans are not this difficult. Take this wee pin out.
The thing is, if you've got, you know, like you say, we all have our favourite pair of jeans. We all have a pair of jeans that maybe are expensive, that you think, oh God, these have just moulded to me and I love them.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's worth taking that.
It's so worth it. I have even fixed jeans like literally an hour before I've gone out because I've put them on, they've ripped when I've been getting ready, and I've thought, you know what, 10 minutes, I'll have these fixed.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to know how to do.
That's it, yeah.
Right, I can show you. So I would go further and I would do more stitching, but I'll show you what I've done so far, and then I can do a wee bit more. Right.
Do make sure you take all your pins out before we give these back to Steve.
Indeed. I've got a wee bit caught there. There we go. Right, okay, so.
Yeah, I think we've got it on the camera. There we go.
So you can see, now that I know still looks like a hole, but that's the fabric you can see underneath here. So that'll be good to go.
Yeah,
again.
and the thread, it has worked really, really well. I don't know if on the inside, would you then trim away any of this, or are you happy to leave it in?
So I'm not going to trim this way because I'm going to continue and go a little bit further. But if you were finished, all you do is cut all the way around the stitches, and that's it. I can show you in my jeans.
Yeah,
actually.
let's have a look at yours. So you say you've done a repair on this a few times
these are
already,
totally,
haven't you?
a couple of times these have been done. Look at that. So you can see that I've cut away there, and this is where the new one is. So this is a classic case of me not doing a big enough repair.
Right.
So this has been done, I think, so it was this side, then it was this side, and now I'm going to have to redo this one. If I had, there's even enough denim probably for me to fix it, but if I had just done a bit of a bigger piece here, so maybe going around there, this would not have happened, because really what happens is the fabric just thins. So all in here, where your thighs rub together, basically, the fabric thins and then it starts to rip. These ripped when I put them on, because you know when you've just put a pair of jeans on and you do like that wee wiggle thing, and then I just thought, oh, they've gone again, damn it. So it's actually, so my advice for this is to go do more of a repair than you think.
Okay, now with this repair, will you need to put another layer of fabric on, or
I am going to, so unpicking, not advisable. No. Don't unpick. I'm just going to put another bit here. Another reason why, if I just did it right the first time, then I wouldn't be here doing it. But then I wouldn't have these here to show you, so it's good that it happened. Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is probably one of the most, in fact, it is the most useful repair I have ever learned how to do, because I do it probably once every 2 months. I'm fixing a pair of jeans, whether it's like my family's jeans or whatever, just because it just breathes life into it. And I just think I would have probably bought and got rid of about 5 pairs of these jeans in the time, and it's like, that's 5 jeans that aren't in landfill, isn't it?
Do you know what? My husband, he's bought a pair of these jeans with rips in the knees. I'm going to go and
sew
them
fix
all up. I'll fix your jeans for you, Kieran.
You should even just pretend you have. Be like, I learned this really useful thing today, and I took them into work and I fixed them for you. You'd be like, just do that. Please film his reaction.
For Valentine's Day, I fixed your jeans.
So thoughtful. That's so good. So yeah.
We've got about 4 minutes. Is there?
Right,
did you want
to? You know what? I'll just continue with that wee.
Yeah, continue with the other ones.
Do you know what? There's another thing that I can show you that I can't finish, but it's another handy thing that I use in the house. So let me show you this. Right. Sorry, it disappeared there. And I
wondered what you bought the circle cutter in for.
So a rep gave me this. So obviously we sell bits and pieces as well. And I was like, oh, thanks. I have no idea what this is. Because obviously I'm not...
A quilter normally would use this.
A quilter would use it.
Plique
and I obviously am not a quilter, so I don't even use cutting mats that often.
No, when you asked for a cutting mat, I didn't expect it. So you don't use do you use rotary cutters?
I do actually now. I never used to. I used to be very old school and I was like, scissors only.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's some fabrics, like there's jerseys, that are so much easier to just do with the rotary cutter. So yeah, now I am a converted rotary cutter fan. Right. This is see if you're you've got some friends over at the house and you've got some crisps out, and then no one eats the crisps, and then you come down in the morning and they've all gone soggy. Yeah. Annoying. So this is like a little bowl cover. So you can take them to picnics, it can do for your lunch. Not for like liquid stuff. But I saw this online and I thought it was such a cool idea, and I made some for the house, and now I can eat the crisps the next day after the party and they're all good.
So pleased you come up with these ideas.
I know, snacks come first. But the one thing is, I could not in my entire house find a safety pin. And
imagine.
And a bodkin.
So let's imagine that you,
so I wanted to just quickly show you this, because you don't need me to show you how to do this, but I can talk you through it.
We've only got 2 minutes
This would be, this is basically 2 different sizes, obviously. 2 big circles, you can do them any size you like. You stitch them right sides together. If you want, you can do a bit of the, what's that stuff called again? Lamy fix. On one of them, if you want it to be waterproof.
Right.
And so I just did one.
Is that Lamifix then? Yeah.
On one side, and then just the normal fabric on the other side. Right sides together, stitch all the way around the outside, leaving a wee space somewhere, turn it out, which gives you this here. And then if you stitch a channel, so I've not closed this up yet, you can see this bit's still open, so I've made a wee channel here. If you stitch a circle, I've gone about 2 centimetres in. It's about 1.5, isn't it? Depends on the width of your elastic. Enough space for you to comfortably get the elastic through the channel. Stitch in there and then feed your elastic right through until it comes out the other side, and then attach the ends together, so that would be in there. Stitch them together,
it goes around your bowl.
And then it pulls it in, and you get like, see if you can imagine like the top of an old school jar of jam, although that's like twine or something, but it's an elasticated version of that, and it's for going over wee jars or bowls, and it's instead of cling film.
That's a really good idea as well, isn't it? All about
Yeah.
sustainability,
Yes,
which is really
I've
exciting.
really brought the eco vibe today.
Thank you so much, and we want to see it on Instagram, social media. Make sure you tag Jenny in it as well.
Yes, please do. I want to know.
And I will let you know how Kieran likes his new jeans. Fixed jeans.
Please do that. That'd be so
Honestly,
funny.
I
Lovely to
can't
see you.
imagine this pre-launch without you. I'm so pleased you're here. You're going to
Thanks
be
for
back,
having
aren't
me.
you, as well?
I'm going to be back.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Don't forget to sign up to the newsletter. Subscribe to us on YouTube to see what we've got coming up for you over the next few days. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.